Welcome to Pound for Pound. I'm J.R. Clark, and you're watching arguably one of the best Atlanta Falcons shows on the internet. As always, we appreciate y'all's views, comments, and y'all sharing the show. And if you're not subscribed, we ask that y'all go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. That way you can always get, be notified when we put up a new video. With that being said, today was kind of a crazy day in a sense. Woke up this morning to the news, and not long after I woke up, I guess you could say, got the news come down that Michael Thomas signed a 5-year, $100 million deal with like $61 million guaranteed. Now, I don't spend a ton of time talking about other teams on this channel because, as you can tell, this is strictly a Falcons channel for me. But the reason why I bring this up, obviously, is because Julio Jones still hasn't signed his contract. Now, over the weekend, we got some interesting sound bites from Julio Jones at training camp saying that he wasn't in the same boat as Amari Cooper or Michael Thomas. That he wasn't worried about what their deals might mean. And I have to believe the man who says it, right? I mean, he's given his agent, Jimmy Sexton, carte blanche to get him the best deal that he's going to get, and that's what his agent is paid to do. So I would imagine that when the deal comes down, whether it be this week, whether it be next week, I'm pretty sure it'll come down before the start of the season. But I'm pretty sure when it comes down, he's going to be the highest paid receiver in the league because he is one of the best receivers in the league. So to have a number come down from the Saints camp of 5 years at $100 million seems a little crazy to me. I try not to talk trash, and I'm not going to do that now because karma is a joke. Karma is a boogaboo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and repeat some of the things I saw on Twitter about Michael Thomas. But that seems to be paying some guy a lot of money when you ain't got that much time left with your franchise quarterback. So you got to hope whoever you bring in next after Breeze, whether it be Teddy Bridgewater or whatever, you better hope that he can maximize that guy's talent, okay? Because if not, you're paying a lot of money if you start going through bum quarterbacks. But that's y'all's problem, not a us problem. The us problem is going to be Julio Jones, right? And I don't necessarily consider it to be a problem, like some people want to try to make it out to be. Julio Jones is going to get his money. Something I've said plenty of times before, I'm not going to get into somebody else's pocket. I believe these guys have a finite amount of time that they can play, and I believe that they should get as much money as they can. And whatever the market dictates, I think that's what they should get paid. If they are worth that contract. And if there's a receiver out there worth being the highest paid, it's Julio Jones. He says everything you want him to say. He's a model teammate, and he performs at a high level every time he's on the field. So I don't think can be an argument to be made that he shouldn't be the highest paid. And I know once it comes down, there's going to be some Falcons fans out there that belly moan and gripe about however much he gets paid. But I'm going to go ahead and call it. It is what it is. That's the price to play the game. If you want to have some of the best talent on the planet, you're going to have to pay that talent. You're going to have to pay him accordingly. And I wish they'd have got it done before Michael Thomas signed his deal, but I don't think it has a huge factor. I'm pretty sure that Julio Jones was already going to get 55, 60 million guaranteed. Now it's probably just going to be 62 million guaranteed, so that he can say, I got the most money, because it is a bragging right thing. The other piece of news that came down today was our second first-round draft pick in Kaleb McGary. Looks like he's going to miss possibly 6 to 8 weeks. He has a heart condition that was, documented from his time in high school and his time in college. And the Falcons still went ahead and selected him anyway at the back end of the first round. But the other day at practice, he kind of went out with what they called an illness at the time. And we all kind of joked on Twitter that that trip to the varsity kind of messed with him. I don't know if y'all saw that video with Ryan Cameron and Jerry Glanville, but they took out Chris Lindstrom and Kaleb McGary and showed them some of the sights and stuff in Atlanta. It was a good video. If you haven't checked it out, you should definitely give it a look-see. But so the initial jokes was that maybe he just got, upset stomach. Maybe something didn't sit with him right. Maybe it was a little bit of food poison. Well, it turned out to be a heart condition and something that he has had 2 previous surgeries, minor invasive procedures to clean out the valve or whatever it might be. I didn't really look into the heart condition itself. I'm not a doctor, so it'd be like reading Chinese for me. So all I know is that the last time he had it done, he was out 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, he hasn't missed any games because of it in his high school and or college career. So I don't think it's something that we should be concerned ourselves with too much, other than it's off-season news and we have to pour over everything that comes out. But to act like the Falcons medical staff didn't know this or didn't see this, I kind of saw this a little bit on Twitter. Some people like saying that they're, the scouting department missed that. Ain't nobody missed that. Dude, they comb over these players like they're trying to get a federal background check. You see what I'm saying? They comb over everything. They go talk to everybody. So the fact that there was an article written about it while he was in college out in Washington, yeah, the Falcons knew about it, okay? So, and they were comfortable with drafting him. So I have to just assume that they're cool with it. And they knew that this was a possibility. And does it suck that we were going to miss Kaleb McGary for possibly 6 to 8 weeks? Yeah, man, it sucks bad. That time missed on the field is important, whether he was going to be the starter or not. He was going to be getting those reps, especially in these games coming up. So that kind of is a bummer, and it may push back their timetable. And I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially went out and signed another low risk offensive tackle. I know Jeremy Purnell's still on the market. Somebody brought his name up on Twitter, saying that the Falcons were kind of linked to him in the early part of the offseason. So maybe that's something that they do. If they do bring him in, they may feel like because of this might stunt McGary's readiness, to take over that starting right tackle spot. But as far as is this going to affect him, I don't see it affecting him long term, other than it might shorten his career by a year or two, possibly. But like I said before, he hasn't missed any games up to this point because of it. So if he's out the full 6 to 8 weeks, yeah, he's going to miss, the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season. But I don't think it's anything to be too, alarmed about. And you're going to tell me, oh, well, JR, we spent a first-round pick on him. Yeah, I know we spent a first-round pick on him. We moved back up into the first round to get him because I truly believe the team didn't feel like he was going to be there when they picked in the second round. So that's why they made that move, between that and also having the fifth-year option, which is a huge thing nowadays. If you didn't think he was going to be there, you felt good about moving back up in the first round, at the tail end of the first round, because then you do get that fifth-year option. And it's another year of control that the team has over a player, which is what they're always looking for. Anything to, leverage their business, because at the end of the day, it's all a business. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery, and hopefully this is nothing that in a year or two we just look back and go, oh, yeah, that was just a blip. So that's what we're hoping for, and, definitely prayers to Kaleb when he goes and has this procedure, that everything comes out and comes back clean, But that leads me into the Hall of Fame game tomorrow. We got that coming up, and for most people, the Hall of Fame game is nothing to worry about, nothing to even think about. But it is the first football we get to see of the season, and that's always exciting. And then this year, we get to see our team in this game. Now, I do not expect to see anybody who is considered a starter except for maybe the offensive line, so that they have time to gel. But other than that, I expect to see a heavy dose of the backup running backs I expect to see a heavy dose of backup receivers, backups galore, which is great because it'll give you a good sense of where we are at with the depth on the roster. We've had, just like last year. I mean, in the first few weeks, you had, three of your top people go down. So I will be real interested to see how our depth performs tomorrow night. Myself, I'm really keen on the running back position because I think we got some good quality backup running backs. And unfortunately, with Devontae Freeman being right now injury prone until he proves different, that's an important spot. So that's the one I'm going to be paying the most attention to is, how does Brian Hill look? And how does Quadre Olison look? And how does Ito Smith look in his second year? And and I'm also interested in special teams, like big time interested in special teams. Our special teams hasn't been all that spectacular the last few years, so we got a new special teams coordinator, and I'm interested to see what that looks like this year without Keith Armstrong back there. So that's what I'm looking at and looking for when it comes to the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, other than the fact that it's just live football, which is always exciting. So, hey, put some comments down below what you're looking for because I'm always interested to see what y'all are interested in. And also, keep an eye peeled because me and Toby will be at the Military Appreciation Day down at the Benz on Sunday. So if you're going down there, keep an eye out for us. We'll be in section 117, I believe it is. So if you're anywhere near that section, wave at us and come say hi. We'd love to shake your hand and thank you in person for giving us y'all's attention. And also keep an eye on the channel because Sunday afternoon after the Military Appreciation Day, we'll be trying to do a live stream to kind of give you our thoughts and our impressions as the open portion of training camp wraps up. So, keep an eye on the channel for that. And as always, like I said at the top of the show, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you know somebody who's a Falcons fan and they don't watch, maybe, duct tape a phone to their face and make them watch. No, don't make them watch. Don't do that. But, tell them about us. Spread the word. We always enjoy interacting with our audience for sure. But that's what I got for you today. And like I said, keep an eye on the channel for Sunday for the live stream. As always, Falcons fans, rise up.